afternoon all. A little bit of a different approach to my videos, different start, getting stuff ready at home before I go later on. I'm going to go to the canal, not quite sure where I'm going to go. I've got a place in mind, but you never know with the canal. You turn up and someone might be in there. So the good thing about the canal is obviously lots of other places you can go to. So I'm going to go around the Sanford Peveril area. But this morning I had a nice text from Stev down from the tackle shop, Calm Vale Tackle Shop, and he's asked me to try some of his bait out today on the canal. So I've got some sweet F1 ground bait. I'm going to be trying this. It says the milky one. I'm going to be trying this on one of my rods. So that looks all good. So it's So Simple Sweet FA1, and then I've got some pellets that I'm gonna use as well. Can't pronounce it, but it says Go Nuts, so let's hope hopefully that they do. 4mm pellets, nice little bag, so I'll be feeding them in as well. And then I've got another ground bait which he was giving me, which he reckons is going to be the next Tench bait. So it's So Simple Baits, bait.com, all purchased from the Calm Valley Tackle Shop. And he's also given me a little tub of sweet corn, Milky FA1 Magic Corn. I have smelt it. It smells a bit dentusy. I'm not quite sure what the smell is, but he's assured me to use this on the hook on a float, so I should be giving this a go. Giving this a go later on. It's really hot at the minute, so I've got yellow stuff on my hands. It's obviously leaking from after I opened it earlier, but I'm gonna reset my rods, do it here, so when I turn up I'm pretty much good to go. So yeah, next time you see me I should be on the bank. I'm going to take Fred with me as well and see if we can catch some tench on this bait. I have got some maggots as well, Old Faithful, so look forward to it. See you all in a bit. Well, that's me and Fred all loaded up, car's loaded up, gears in. You ready to catch some fish, Fred? Hopefully. Try this bait out. Come on then. Really to get Fred in the water because it's that nice, Fred? Hey, get your temperature down before we start. Well, I'm not sure it was my best move coming here this early because it is absolutely squelching. Can't get out of it anywhere. I've got my coat over the top of my head because I left my hat at home. I always forget something. There's a little breeze every now and then which is kind of nice, but I've got several hours yet before this sun comes off of me. Right at the back of my swim, where my float is in the shade. Hopefully that will start closing over in time. Might get the tench and other stuff feeding a bit more. But like I say, don't really expect to catch a lot yet, probably for a few hours yet. So I just got to sit here and sweat. And I think Fred's probably dried off already, so he might need another swim. I might have to take him up a little bit further again and get him in the water. Well, at least he's having a drink. But yeah, it's mentally hot. Well, finally got the rods in the water. I'm just using maggots at the minute, so I've got a swim feeder full of maggots. My maggots are, they were wriggling earlier. It's so hot. Even when you put your hands in the maggots, you know, they're boiling. So I think they might almost be dead. I've put them in the shade now, hopefully they might come back to life. So I've got my float rod out, also using maggots on that at the minute. I will use this sweet corn that I'm going to be using, the So Simple Milky FA1 Magic Corn. I think I should be giving that a go later on. Once, you know, I really don't expect to catch much at the minute, but come here because I've got not a lot else to do. I'm actually sweating like anything at the minute, but you know, slowly build the swim up with a bit of bait in. Been absolutely plagued with paddle boarders at the minute, but hopefully they've all passed and gone. Canals for all of us, so you can't complain. So Fred's obviously had a dip. Let's hope to catch something. Well, I've had a few bites on this magic sweet corn. I haven't hooked anything yet, but I was getting nothing on the maggot, so I'm glad I've gone to the sweet corn, because you know, they are getting a few little knocks. Not sure what it is yet, but I have had a perch on the feeder rod on the maggots. That was about, I don't know, 7 or 8 inches long, so it's not been a blank. So hopefully more to come. My swim now, I've got the shade halfway across the water, so it's getting there, but like I say, I'm going to be in the sun for a bit more. It's not very pleasant. Debating whether to dunk my t-shirt in the water just to get it wet. I'm sure it'll dry out in no time, but I'm getting bites. Right, so I'm just going to make up some of this So Simple ground bait. Made a little bit up already. I've used it. I'm going to make some more. I've seen a couple of tench swimming around right under my rod tips, which is a good sight. So I'm going to stick a bit more of that in like that. And a few grains of sweet corn. Green Giant, always good stuff. I don't want to put too much of this in. I'm going to use the other sweet corn as hook baits, obviously. Put some maggots in. Pretty much dead almost. And then some of these So Simple crushed Go Nuts 4mm pellets. Stick a few of them in there as well. I'm going to change my swim feeder in a minute to a cage feeder, because I'm going to use this ground bait in amongst it, give that a little mix up. Some water to it. Give it a nice old stir up. Certainly a good sign seeing these tench. Seems so long ago I caught one. After the river's open, I've been back on the river. I was there yesterday, caught some eels, a few nice dace. Didn't make a video yesterday. I had a trout as well, give me a nice fight. It was probably my biggest fish. A few chub. Nothing big yesterday though. I've not really had much big. The fish haven't been of any size yet on the river for myself. I know a few other people have had some better chub out. It's looking good in here now. Just enough so it holds together. should be good. Good shot, hit my float. Yeah, so I'm gonna change the old swim maggot feeder for a swim feeder, for a cage feeder, and start using this now. I'm gonna cast in a different location, and I'm gonna just try and keep hitting the same spot, building that spot up for later on when the tench come on to feed, and hopefully that should do the trick. Well, I just had a rud on the first cast of the feeder rod with the ground bait and the bits and pieces inside it. So I've got my hooks just loaded up with a load of my maggots, which I probably said before that they're pretty much dead. But that was instant bite in a different spot. So I'm going to keep fishing this spot now, keep plonking the cage in every now and then. I think I've got seeing several signs out the back now. The reeds have been bumping about. Something quite big turned in amongst all the reeds just now, so swim's just coming to alive a little bit more now. So it'd be nice to get something to put a proper bend in the rod. Still early days, I think, but anyway, it's picking up. Come on, keep going, you lot. Fred, get out of the way. That was a bit special. Someone must have arranged for the red arrows to fly over while I'm fishing. Well, thank you, whoever that was. 2 sets of information. Nice little treat. Well, me changing over to the swim feeder with that So Simple baits, some dead maggots, some pellets, a little bit of sweet corn. It's paid off. First little tench, little male. Feels a while since I've caught one, but that's a pleasant surprise. So I'll pop this one back and see if we can get a bigger one. Fred! Well, I think this ground bait's just starting to work now. Lots of weed on this one. Got myself another male tench, this time on the float with the dead maggots. Got lots of that ground bait out in the spot as well, so starting to come together now. Ideal. The ducks like my float. Just biting it. There I go. Fred, out. Fred. Fred. Right there. Go away.
You can't have it.
Sit down. Sit. Okay. Oh. Tench number 3. Getting bigger. Another male on the feeder rod again. Fred's a bit excited. There we go. So that's 3 tench now. 2 on the feeder, the cage feeder, with the So Simple ground bait. Seems to be quite effective. So I've had 1 on the float. I've had a few perch on the feeder rod as well. Got in a bit of a mess with that last one, as you probably saw. It's a problem with 2 rods sometimes. Doesn't happen very often, but it's worth it. So I'm hoping for tench number 4 now. Still plenty of time left. Not really in the time of the day that I thought I was going to catch, so these 3 early tench are quite nice. So hopefully some more to come. They've been getting bigger every fish, so let's hope that carries on. There you are, Wally. Fred, get out. Fred. Tench number 4. First female of the day. Come on. Beautiful. Number 4. Just lost him on the float as well as I was landing that one. how this fishing goes. Just before that last tench, I probably had a good hour or so, not with one bite. It was getting a bit stalemate, to be fair. Something big moved in the back. I was starting to think that there may be a pike on the scene, and I was thinking about moving my feeder rod to a different spot, because that one was just quiet as well. And as soon as I thought it just banged off to the right, which then obviously I hooked into that tench, and then just got it to the net, and then I could see my float was going up the canal to the left, and I struck into that one and it just pulled through. So whether that was a rudd or a small fish just pinching onto the maggots, I certainly didn't feel anything on the end. And yeah, I put the tench back, put the float back out, and had fish straight away with the float rod. And I think that was a skimmer. That one come off because all the bottom 6 inches of my line was all really snotty, so I'm only guessing that was a skimmer, which not that disappointed that it come off. But I'm hoping now that the number 5 could be knocking on the door, which would be nice. The bait seems to be working alright in the cage feeder. So I've had 3 tench on the cage feeder with the what's it called? So Simple ground bait. Yeah, recommend it. Fred, what are you doing? Fred, why didn't you do that when it was full sun? You're such a wally. Come on, out. Sit down. Another little tench on the float rod. Little female. She is. Beautiful. Another tench on the feeder rod. Bit lively this one. Come on. There we go. Bait's working wonders. Beautiful. What do you think, Fred? Let's get her back in. Fred. Another tench on the float. Stunning. Enjoying this bait. Screaming run that was, Fred. It's not very big though. Another one to the feeder. Another female. It's got a little bit of a dodgy dorsal fin, but that one screamed off, that one did. That was on the feeder again. Loving it. Let's put her back. Can't go wrong tonight. Another little tench, a lot darker this one. What a beaut. I've actually lost count how many I've caught now. It's about 9:45. I've got a little bit more bait, enough to have another couple of goes I reckon. See if we can get. Be nice to end off with a nice bigger one. Looks in the. Right, that's me done. I've just reeled in. I've just had a little take on the feeder rod and it was a rudd. So I've had a few perch, a few rudd, one skimmer. I'm not sure how many tench I've had now. I don't know whether it's 10 or 11, but all the same. Big thank you to Stev from the Calm Valley fishing shop for giving me some bait today to field test. Certainly done the business. So so simple, not much other writing on here. You might have to talk to Stev or someone in the shop. It's designed to be a tench bait, I think, but yeah, it's been great. Hopefully he'll give me some more. Anyway, me and Fred's gonna go home now and well, I'm gonna have a beer. Fred's not, obviously. He's gonna have his food, I expect, when we get home. But yeah, what a good session. It's probably my best session on the canal. The most tench I caught in one sitting. So it was pretty full on when I got here, obviously, with the heat. It's nice and cool now to pack up and stroll off. See you all next time.